Good evening. I'm here with my sympathy stick, and I realize now I should have put it in the auction because I found it's not working. I haven't had any sympathy at all. I should say, first of all, thanks to the board of directors for inducting Randy into the media category in the hall. It was much appreciated. And thanks to unfortunately, I should say, that excellent video and commentary made most of what I would have said redundant. But since I've been allocated 3 minutes, I'm going to mention a couple of things. And if there's anybody here who's got a stopwatch, because I want to know how much this takes. And if Jennifer Botterill gets more than my 3 minutes, I'm going to be a pretty unhappy bunny. When Randy, the first thing I should do is make a confession. When Randy first experienced an interest in journalism, we considered trying to discourage him. Our worry stemmed from having heard that most of the journalists at that time favored the Leafs. That Toronto bunch, you know what I'm talking about. And we were afraid that he might get where we might lose him to the dark side. Fortunately, the Jets came along and people came to their senses. Randy loved all sports, but he was partial to football and hockey. He was seldom the star, but he liked to say he rode shotgun for a certain lanky classmate who was the star. Is he here? Yeah. He recognized that his future was not that of a participant, but of an observer who would use his writing talent to report on sports. It was inevitable that he would be a sports journalist. And I can't turn pages. It's like my voice has gone as I've got older. If anybody finds it, I wish they'd send it up here. Randy was his mother's son. He inherited her empathy and caring, I should say. They were so similar that there were times when doubt was expressed as to whether I was actually present at conception. And Randy would attempt to allay my fears by pointing out that he inherited my hairline. This empathetic and caring nature was instrumental in his success as a journalist. He was able to put himself in place of his subjects and then convey what they were feeling to the reader. It was particularly evident in such serious topics as depression in aspiring athletes and the feature on premature deaths of pro football players. In addition to empathy, Randy displayed his sensitive side in the feature on athleticism and pole dancing in the Winnipeg bar scene. Randy intended to bring sports into readers' consciousness by focusing his storytelling skills on the humanity of the athletes rather than just their performance on the field. These were stories about life, and readers knew his work would be crafted, on point, and flow like eelers on ice. It was the work of a wordsmith. Randy had a talent for finding humor in everyday things. When he discovered Twitter, the puns became legend. He possessed that quick wit which endeared him to his readers, and there are 2 tweets from 2018 which were applicable to that game tomorrow at the stadium, and I'd just like to read them again. Condolences to Rider fans on last weekend's loss to the Bombers. The good people of Saskatchewan can now focus on their true sporting passion, downhill skiing. And another from 2018. With a forecast of minus 10, the most amusing part of the Bomber game will be when Rider fans start dialing 911 to get frozen watermelon husks removed from their heads. Randy was never comfortable in the limelight. He was more comfortable shining the light on others. He preferred to let his writing do the talking. In conversations, he would sometimes talk about a feature he was working on, but he seldom talked about the awards. He professed to not like book signings, but assuming no one would come, he would wonder what was going to happen to all the books printed and then discover they sold out. He was never caught up in his own success. Though self-deprecating, he was quick to praise the work of others, especially his colleagues. Growing up, Randy was passionate about family, friends, and sports. As an adult, that passion extended to the public, his work, and his city. He loved what he was doing, and he did it better than most. In June of this year, we lost Randy's mom, my wife, to dementia. She was his biggest fan. For 30 years, we followed everything he did, but we never anticipated the magnitude of the reaction to his passing. As Ed Tate said at the time, the internet exploded. The sense of loss expressed by hundreds of readers and fans was overwhelming. I'm sure Randy himself would have never have been surprised at the extent of his notoriety. Randy would have been gratified by this induction, but I suspect he would have been shucks about it. He would have expressed his appreciation for being inducted, even though he lacked the attributes of some of his friends. For instance, he might have said he didn't have the height or the linguistic skills of a Bob Irving, nor the analytic skills and instant recall of an Ed Tate. I'm sure he would have said he was just a dapper, and I emphasize dapper, country boy doing his job in City Beautiful. Thank you.